things that are going on in the news and on social media, my personal Facebook page, stuff like that, I decided to make a video about prayer. The first thing about prayer that I want to talk about has to do with the Orlando shooting. And this is something that I was going to make a whole video about, just specifically the Orlando shooting at Pulse, but since then I've had some other things come up, like on Facebook, and I want to address that too. First of all, we all know what happened in Orlando, the shooting at Pulse, where 49 people were killed and something like 53 more were injured. That was a horrible, horrible event. It made me so sad to wake up that day and read about that. It was something I would have never expected to happen. I have been to gay clubs. I myself am bisexual, so I'm a member of the LGBT community, and it really hits close to home for me. It kind of makes me not want to leave my house, and I don't like that. I don't like feeling like that, but it does. It's a scary thing to think that there are people so full of hate out there that they'll just walk into a random place and just start shooting people that they don't know. And that's a terrifying thought. While saying that you're praying for Orlando may be full of good intentions, and I think it's great to, have those good intentions and to mean well by saying that, I don't think that people realize how hypocritical it is to pray to God for something that happened regarding gay people. And that's because the Bible, God's word, specifically says that homosexuality is an abomination and that gay people should be put to death. I just don't think that a God who says gay people should die, and also who destroys a whole town of them, Sodom and Gomorrah, would give a shit about the 49 gay people who were killed in Orlando. And I know that sounds insensitive, and I don't mean it to be, but really, you're praying to a God who either caused this to happen, did nothing to stop it, or just doesn't exist. Those are your options. If there is an omnipotent, all-powerful, all-knowing God, then, one, he caused this to happen. He made it happen. And yeah, people will argue free will, but then those are the same people who say it's God's plan. God has a plan, and he controls everything. Everything is set into place. Whatever is meant to happen, it's going to happen. And that's what a lot of Christians believe. So the whole free will thing and the whole God's plan thing are really contradicting each other, because if it's God's plan, then do we really have free will? No, we don't. And if we really have free will, then not everything's going to go according to God's plan. So you can't use both in an argument. You can't even really believe both to be true, because they can't both be true. We either have free will, or God has a plan that he is put into action. It's one or the other. That brings me back to either God caused it or God did nothing to stop it because it was his plan. What are you praying for? Are you praying for their souls? Do you really think that they're gonna get into heaven? No, you don't. You don't believe that these people are going to heaven, and you can't pray them into heaven if they didn't repent for being gay. So, why pray for these people? What are you praying for? That's what I guess I just fail to understand what you're praying for when you're praying for them. And I kind of understand, praying for their families, praying for the comfort of their families, but at the same time, whether you personally believe it or not, your Bible, the word of your God, says that these people should be put to death. I know that this was, you're probably gonna be like, well, it was Islam. You're gonna blame Islam. But the thing is that your book says the same fucking thing. And you can't excuse it. You can't pretend that you're any better than Islam just because you didn't pull the trigger. Your book commands exactly what that guy did. I wrote an article. It's called Don't Pray for Orlando. If you want to read it, the link will be in the description below. I recently started writing for this website called thefreethinkingpress.com. You should go check it out. I've written several articles on there. There's a lot of great writers on there, so go check that out when you get a chance, maybe after you're finished watching this video. The other thing that I want to talk about regarding prayer is something that I deal with personally all the time. Not every day. It's not a daily thing, but I get it a lot. And I'm so tired of it. When a Christian tells me that they're praying for me, it's rude. And let me explain why. Everybody who knows me knows I'm an atheist. I am very, very open and loud about it. I do not hide it. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm very proud. And so generally when somebody says, I'm praying for you or I will pray for you, to me, they're being condescending and they're being very disrespectful, because generally, not always, but most of the time, whenever a Christian tells me that they're praying for me, it's because they don't think that I'm good enough the way that I am. They think that I'm gonna go burn in hell for eternity because I don't believe in their version of God, and Jesus and all of that. So they say, well, I'll pray for you. And to me, that's like saying, fuck you, you're wrong. I'm gonna ask my invisible sky friend to change you so that you can hang out with me in heaven forever. Well, you know what? I don't want to hang out with you in heaven forever, because it's people like you I don't want to be around. Anybody who tells an atheist, I'm gonna pray for you, simply because they're an atheist, you're a jackass. It's rude. It's disrespectful. Don't do it. When a religious person tells an atheist, I'm praying for you, when they're having a hard time, I'm a little bit torn about this, because like I said earlier, I do understand that these people have good intentions. They're trying to, in their own way, be comforting to the person who's having a hard time. But if the person who's going through a rough time doesn't believe in God, then saying, I'll pray for you, provides absolutely zero comfort to that person. None. At all. For example, if somebody that I love died, and somebody else tried to comfort me by saying, I'm praying for you, that would provide no comfort for me at all. Actually, in a way, it would be a little bit insulting, because it kind of writes off my issues, my problems, and the hard times that I'm going through as something that can simply be fixed just by praying to a God. And that is insulting to most atheists, I would say. To me specifically, me personally, don't tell me you're praying for me. My problems are not going to go away by you praying. And you telling me that you're going to pray, it's not going to make me feel better. It's going to just piss me off. And I know that there's a lot of atheists out there who, when they are going through a hard time and some Christian or some religious person in general tells them, well, I'm praying for you, they just say thank you. It doesn't really provide any comfort to that person, but they say thank you because they know that their intentions are good. But me, while I know your intentions are good, you're also being disrespectful to me. Because if you know that I'm an atheist and you're telling me that you're going to pray for me when I'm going through a hard time in my life, I feel like you're writing off my problems. I feel like you are disrespecting my beliefs or lack thereof, because you're trying to provide comfort to me, and that's great, but you're doing it in your way and not in a way that you know would actually comfort me. If you know me, you know that saying I'll pray for you isn't something that's going to make me feel better, no matter what the situation may be. I might say thank you if you say you're praying for me, but I'm probably not gonna say thanks. Like, I probably won't. Because, like I said, you know I'm an atheist. And every once in a while, I'll come across somebody who really doesn't know me, and I don't wear a sign around my neck that says I'm an atheist. So if somebody just meets me, they're not going to know that I don't believe in God. And so if they say something like, oh, God bless you, or whatever, I just say thank you. I don't say anything else because I know that they're just trying to be kind. The point is, if you have a friend or a family member or know somebody who's an atheist and they're going through a hard time and you want to say something comforting to them, by all means, do it. But I'll pray for you is not the thing to say. You could say, I love you. You could hug them. You could tell them that you're there for them. Let me know if you need anything. What can I do to help you? These are things that will make somebody feel a little bit better. You're not alone. I'm here. If you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me. A real person who will hear you and respond. The reason that I wanted to talk about this was because I recently said something on my Facebook, and some guy who I didn't even know him kept commenting on it and telling me that he was praying for me. Great. That's fine. You can pray for me all you want to. This guy repeatedly said, I'm praying for you. And I said, fine. Go ahead, pray for me. I don't care. And that wasn't good enough. He couldn't be okay with that. He just, well, I'm going to pray for you. I'm glad I can help by praying for you. Like, this guy, at least 5 or 6 times, told me that he was going to pray for me. I mean, it really didn't bother me that much. But what did bother me was when another girl came on and she commented and she said, why can't you just say thank you? Why do you have to be rude about it? I'm not gonna say thank you when somebody's being a condescending asshole. I mean, that would be like saying thank you when somebody walks up to you and calls you fat or ugly or something, like openly insulting you, because that is what saying, I'll pray for you, to an atheist is. It's an insult. Whenever you mean it as, oh, you're an atheist, you don't believe in God? Well, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for your soul. No, don't. I mean, fine, if you want to, fine. It isn't going to affect me, which is exactly what I said to that guy. If you want to pray for me, fine. It's not going to affect my life at all. But that was rude, I guess. Stop! I'm not trying to be rude by anything that I'm saying. I'm not trying to insult Christians. I'm not even saying don't pray for atheists. I mean, it's pointless to pray for atheists. You're just wasting your time. But hey, it's your time to waste. So if you want to pray, pray. It's just not going to affect us. You praying on your own time, it's not going to have any impact whatsoever on my life. So why bother telling me you're praying for me? And there is only one reason somebody says that. There's only one reason that somebody knows you're an atheist, knows you're not going through something really bad right now. They're not trying to provide comfort. There's one reason a Christian tells an atheist that they're praying for them. And that is just to say, I'm better than you. And I want you to know it. Like, that's the only thing that I'm going to get from you telling me that you're going to pray for me because I don't believe in God. Now, I don't take it that way whenever you say, oh, you're going through a hard time, oh, you just lost somebody, you just found out that you're sick, or whatever, you aren't feeling well, I'll pray for you. Well, yeah, okay, thanks, I guess. But again, it isn't going to affect my life. You praying for me because somebody I love died, it's not going to bring that person back. It's not going to make me miss them any less. It's not going to make me feel any better that they're gone. Anytime that you have said a prayer and the outcome has been that which you prayed for, it wasn't because you prayed. Whether or not you would have said that prayer, the exact same outcome would have happened. If I am ever in some type of accident or something ever happens to me where I am unconscious or unable to speak for myself, I hope that my friends and family have enough respect for me to not gather around me in prayer, because it's disrespectful to pray for somebody who, A, doesn't want to be prayed for, and B, doesn't believe in the God you're praying to. To pray for somebody who does not believe in God, especially when they could be on their deathbed, it is disrespectful. And I know that a lot of Christians don't even see it that way, and that's the problem. And that's why I'm making this, because I want people to understand that while you may have good intentions, you need to think about the person that you're talking to or about. Because if they don't believe in the same thing as you, then you're basically trying to force your religion on them while they're going through a hard time, which is going to make that person going through a hard time feel worse in a lot of cases. Not every case, but in a lot of cases. Sorry for my kid moving around back there. I hope it's not too distracting. I'm the only one home with him right now, so I can't just shoo him away, and he won't listen anyway because he's 4. So you're just ignore him. So I think that I've made my point. Hopefully this doesn't come off as me being like a bitch, because I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be honest, and I feel very strongly about this, because this is something that I've dealt with since day 1 of me coming out as atheist. Something that a lot of times whenever I first tell people, I don't believe in God, and they, oh, well, I'll pray for you. I'm not going to say thank you. In fact, I'm probably going to get mad, and I'm probably going to smart off and say something to you back, because, well, for one thing, sometimes I just don't have that filter. And another thing, I'm not going to be respectful to somebody who is disrespectful to me. Now, when somebody does have good intentions and they say that, I'm not going to be rude to them. But I'm not going to thank them either. And the fact that I should be expected to say thank you when somebody says I'm praying for you, I think that's the thing that irritates me the most. Is that this girl who had commented on my Facebook said, why don't you just say thank you? What? Why would I say thank you? Why? I have nothing to be thankful for about what you said. Nothing that you said had any positive impact on me whatsoever. So why would I thank you for telling me that you're gonna pray for me? Especially when it's because I'm an atheist. That doesn't make sense, and it's not gonna happen. And no, I'm not gonna say thank you if I'm going through a hard time and you say I'm praying for you. I'm probably gonna either completely ignore that comment, or well, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna ignore it, because I'm not gonna try to be rude. Like I said, I know that you have good intentions, but sometimes good intentions lead to things that are harmful. Sometimes when you intend something to be comforting, it does the opposite. And saying, I'll pray for you when an atheist is going through a hard time, and not just atheists, by the way, anybody who doesn't believe in your God. That's pretty much all that I have to say about that. I don't know if I missed anything. I probably repeated myself quite a bit, but when I edit this, it shouldn't be so repetitive, so there's that. It's just something that's really been kind of bothering me lately, because it's been more consistent, especially since I wrote the article about Orlando. Don't pray for Orlando. I've gotten some backlash on that. Not a whole lot, really. Not as much as I expected to get, but I got a little bit, which was expected. I think that a lot of Christians they honestly don't realize that they're doing anything wrong by saying it, and I get that, but you are. It's not helpful. So maybe next time, instead of saying, I'll pray for you whenever your atheist friend or family member is going through a hard time, maybe instead of saying, I'll pray for you, just let them know that you're there for them, that you're there to listen, that if they need something, that you will be there for them, because that is the type of thing that is comforting to people. That is what we need whenever we're going through a hard time. Whenever I am sad, telling me that you'll pray for me, it doesn't help me feel better. Telling me that you're there for me if I want to talk, that helps me feel better, because I know that I have somebody that I can reach out to who will listen, who will be there for me, and who cares. That's what matters. That's what people want, not I'll pray for you. Because chances are you're not even going to pray for them. You're just saying it to make yourself feel better for not doing shit. And that needs to stop, because atheists don't believe in God. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was just kind of stuff that has been on my mind, and I didn't really plan it out very well, so sorry if it's in any way at all confusing. I'm not always good with the words out loud. I'm better at writing them down, but this is what I have for you. But if you like it, then give it a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think. If you agree with me, then let me know. Show some support. If you don't agree with me, then you're probably a Christian and you're probably going to pray for me. So pray for my soul and don't tell me about it. It's been about a month, I think, maybe a little bit longer since I put out a video. I've been dealing with life. You know, I had shit come up. I had things, responsibilities, and, you know, struggles and stuff that I've been dealing with personally. So sorry that it's been so long since I've put out a video. I will try not to let that much time pass between them again. I don't like it. And for those of you who are subscribed to my channel, who do enjoy watching my videos, I'm sure you didn't really like it either. So here's a new one, and next week, maybe even later this week, I plan on doing another one, and I plan on, hopefully, getting back into the swing of putting out at least one video a week, because this was ridiculous, waiting so long, and I'm sorry, but life happened. So subscribe to my videos and share them, this one especially, because this one I think that people really need to understand. And like I said, I'm not trying to bash Christians, not in any way at all. I have 4 minutes left before my camera dies, so I'm not trying to bash Christians at all. I just want everyone to understand that while they may be having good intentions and trying to be comforting, trying to be a good friend or a good family member or whatever, sometimes that's not always the case, because whenever you're telling that to an atheist, it's not comforting, like I said several times. So point is, share this video so that that knowledge gets out there, because I think that a lot of Christians would probably correct themselves with this mistake if they knew, or if they realized it. So that's why I made this.